Poor DNA.
He said for DNA instead of for the Horde or for the Alliance. I don't know if you caught that. Shout out to Herman for putting together that intro for us. And spoiler alert, I don't know if you saw that, but that was a pretty pivotal scene from the movie. And yes, too sweet. Back here with the rDNA podcast, and you're frozen on a beautiful face. Alrighty, that's fun. Can you hear me at least? Hi, Rob. I don't know if you can hear me even. Cody, Thunder, can everyone hear me? Or are we just frozen all together? Let's fix that. There we go. It seems you are unfrozen now. Can you hear me, Rob?
Now I can. You were very robotic there for a second.
Really? Am I still robotic? Is anyone else experiencing?
No, it came through good now. But for a second there, you sounded really awesome.
Transformers. It's not the movie we're doing here, but welcome everyone. This is the rDNA podcast. R, because we keep it real. REEL, like a film reel. It's never going to get old explaining that, I promise you. But again, welcome back. This week we're talking about, and it's just Rob, and I. Shout out to Wicked, a.k.a. Herman. He is taking the week off this week. So good luck on your training orientation stuff. Very exciting stuff for him on the horizon. But yeah, Warcraft. The first I want to say, how is this a 2016 movie? I felt like it was more recent than 5 years ago.
I agree. Because I remember, just full disclosure, my take on this is just from watching the movie. I never played the game.
You didn't play World of Warcraft either?
Not ever. No.
Oh.
But I remember thinking the movie looked cool and I knew it was from a video game. And just, yeah. Never got into the game.
And I mean, that's fair. So, I mean, here's the confession too. I played about 3 months of World of Warcraft, and it's all thanks to your brother-in-law. He was the one that conned me into playing that game, and having me do a late night run like we used to do to Meijer to buy whatever pack they had for like $20 or $40. I had forgotten because they changed it after that. It was just a monthly membership. The base game became free. World of Warcraft, that is. I know Warcraft is a whole world of things, but that's where my knowledge stops as well. So for both of us, we are probably not the best people to review this for lore sake. We're reviewing this probably...
No, definitely just straight off the movie. There's not a whole lot of comparing it to the game because I have no reference for that. So,
right, World of Warcraft movie society. Leroy Jenkins. That is from World of Warcraft, isn't it? So I'm not gonna call them out directly, but I am gonna indirectly call them out. There was an individual that slipped this into our poll that was not one of our choices. If you recall, we each submitted options for this this one, and then all of a sudden there were 5 options on this poll. And there are only a few people in DNA, as far as trusted sources that have admin or mod access to things, to do such a thing. The chat's calling them out. I said I'm not naming names here. So if you have the privilege of watching the video of this, chat is calling them out. Ad says, is WoW really a game where you could make a movie that followed? Is it though? Probably not. I mean, they tried kind of with this movie. Cody says, how could I do it? It was a closed poll. So Cody, are you confessing? So we have an argument happening on who did what in chat right now. It was Cody. There. I said it. Cody slipped it in, and that's what he said.
Just the tip?
Just the whole movie. He put the whole movie in. And he was like, have fun, guys. And thanks to the host. Gojira. That's what we should have reviewed.
I will actually thank Cody then, I guess, because, again, not a harsh critic. I like this movie.
Oh, we're
shocking.
Just coming out with the review right away. He liked it. Yikes. And no, how do I say this without sounding insulting? I was going to say easily pleased, but that sounds bad.
You're not wrong.
Okay. All the good ones are gone. Facts. Thank you for the host, Cody. Easily pleased. Oof. I mean, how else do I put that? You are easily entertained.
Yeah, easily entertained is fine with me. Like I've said it before, I can watch a movie and know that it's horrible and still like it because I find it entertaining.
Now, let me ask you that when you approach film, are you just watching things for, oh God, we have an interruption here. We have a goal being scored. And thunder with the host as well. Think about this question while I ask it here while the goal is happening. How do you approach critiquing a film? I guess, like, what's your approach to a movie you like?
Is that just on my end?
Easy pleasy.
Pikachu!
Pikachu. We freezing again? You're frozen on your side. So England scored one here until we get whatever connection is happening with him back. Connectivity issues. Welcome to the internet. There, he's back. Can you hear me now? He's going in and out. Can you hear me? I see you.
Now it's back.
Now you're back. Oh, Lord. Okay, so you're back. Can you tell me what your approach is to films then, so listeners have a better understanding, I guess, as far as what we're going in, what you're going into when you're watching a movie?
I just go in expecting it to be able to not be disappointed that I gave it 2 hours of my life. Like, I try to admit that I am a very easy critic on a lot of things. It goes back to I'm easily entertained, I think.
I mean, fair.
Which I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not gonna, because I can entertain myself with some crap, I guess. I don't know.
So you don't ever set the bar high then. You go in with kind of low expectations, or at least expectations based on, what the movie could be. Like, for example, Warcraft. I don't think you're going in with high expectations, and maybe that helps.
No, and for me, it was literally just because I thought it looked cool, and I knew it was based on Warcraft, but I didn't watch it expecting, like, obviously, because I haven't played the game, that it would be like me playing the game.
Right.
It was just me watching like a fantasy movie, basically. Like,
and I mean, basically, that's what this was. So, if you are a fan of things like, and fantasy in general, but fans of things like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, like that world of style and fantasy and action, this is probably under the umbrella of stuff you would enjoy watching. Were you a supporter of Game of Thrones? Did you watch that show?
No.
Did you watch? I mean, assuming you watched Lord of the Rings, right?
I have seen the movies. Spoiler, they're not my favorite because I just feel like they drag on, but that's just me.
You don't like walking for 3 hours? Or 5, depending on the version?
No, and it's not, and watching them through, for me, they're not bad, but they're not ones where if I'm looking to kill time, I go, let's watch Lord of the Rings. Like, that doesn't ever pop up for me.
It has for me before. It depends on. It's very infrequent, I guess, if that's a word to use. If that's even a word, we'll go with it. It sounds good. But yeah, it's not one that I'm like, yes, this is what I'm doing on my Saturday afternoon. And this film is one that I kind of regret doing on my Monday night, to be honest with you. It was 2 hours long, 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. Ad says, now I want to see a WoW orc versus Middle Earth orc. That would be fun. I'd be down for that. Ty has never seen Lord of the Rings. And Lana says that you are one of the most easygoing guys that she knows. Goodbye, friendship. Uh-oh. Cody and Ty having relationship issues right now. So Warcraft, alternately known as Warcraft The Beginning, is a 2016 American action fantasy film based on the video game series of the same name, directed by Duncan Jones and written by Charles Leavitt and Jones. And it stars Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, Ben Foster, Dominic Cooper, Toby Kebbell, Ben Schnetzer, Robert Kazinsky, Clancy Brown, and Daniel Wu. I'll be honest with you, I don't recognize a lot of these names. And the cast in general, like, no one looked very familiar to me in this movie.
I knew the Guardian, which you said his name, and now I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to blank on it again from other things. And then,
like the main actor?
is it Ben Foster, I think?
Yeah, the Guardian of Azeroth.
Yeah, him I recognize from other stuff. And then I'm going to blank on the character's name, even though I just watched it today, but his little helper guy in the movie, he plays a lot of bit roles in a lot of movies. So I recognized his face, but I wouldn't know his name. And those are the only two that I recognize from anything in the whole movie.
Lana says that was Paula Patton. Thunder says Vikings. Ragnar is the main character. So if you guys have ever seen Vikings, I'm familiar of the show Vikings. I've never seen it. It could be something that would be interesting to myself. I have such a backlog of things I want to watch. I know this is off topic, but speaking on the topic of things to watch, I finally got into Westworld. I don't know if that's something you ventured into, but having HBO again, that's on there, and I'm enjoying that show. So backlog. I didn't get off topic. I know. Random. Sorry. Lana says she was married to Robin Thicke until he cheated on her like an effing moron. Oops.
Was it before or after the twerking with Miley Cyrus?
It's probably around that time because that's when his career kind of took a shit and he became a reality TV host.
Hey, man, don't mock the Masked Singer.
Oh, God. You don't watch that too, do you?
I will say, because Amy has control of the TV, I do not get to pick. So, yes, we watch it.
I am so sorry. Well, now Lana has somebody else to discuss it with because they have phone parties when that's on.
She can call Amy because usually that's on. I'm on my phone. It's just on. I'm not necessarily watching it.
All right. Well, there you go. Fun fact for Lana's defending it in all caps. No caps spamming. We'll ban you.
Cody, where's that ban hammer?
Right? Don't abuse the timeout function. So this film was first announced in 2006, so 10 years prior to its release, as a project partnership with Legendary Pictures and the game's developer, Blizzard Entertainment. Warcraft obviously premiered in Paris May 24th, 2016, was released by Universal Pictures in the United States on June 10th. So just over 5 years exactly. So perfect timing for us to review. It's the 5th anniversary of Warcraft. Lord. Though the
Doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
No, that's the thing. I feel like it was heavily marketed somewhat recently, but a lot of us have been isolated for the last 17 months to our homes. So you got to take that into effect too. That's a chunk of time right there. Well, it's been nice. It's been terrible at the same time. The film underperformed at the domestic box office and received generally negative reviews from critics. Yes. Managed to gross $439 million worldwide, surpassing The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, which was the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time. So Warcraft, this movie is the highest grossing video game adaptation. That blows my mind. This movie? Get out of here.
Spoiler, I take it you're not a fan?
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan. Compared to, especially very... there's other better video game. And Thunder makes a fantastic point. Thunder says it's very pretty. Visually, this film is incredible. It's really well put together. It better be for a budget of $160 million.
I put that one of mine is this is definitely not one of those 90s action movies that we've been reviewing lately.
No, this is a sharp contrast to what we've been reviewing. Trevor says, I never watched it. You never watched what, Prince of Persia or Warcraft? Fantastic point. The video game is pretty. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, 160 million. I think this is, well, at this point, for what we've reviewed of video game movies, it's the highest budget. We've reviewed crap so far, super low budget stuff. So it is a sharp contrast to what we've done. You're not wrong there. Cody says, beautiful movie. It's all right for what it is. By far, is it great? Warcraft, you liked Prince of Persia, says Trevor. I mean, where do I even begin with this movie? Visually, yes. We can talk all day about how visually stunning the film is. And I don't know how you watched the movie, but I obtained a copy on Amazon leading up to this review. It was $14 for a 4K copy. So I was like, that's super cheap for 4K. Came with the Blu-ray copy and digital copy. I'm like, $14, I'll do it. So, how did you watch that?
I actually had it on Vudu. So I had purchased it at some point before.
Oh, interesting. Do you still have access to my Vudu?
No, for some reason they did an update and ours don't link up after a certain point.
Awesome. Thanks, Vudu. We don't want your sponsorship.
Yeah. So at some point they changed their things because I remember we would both be buying and be like, hey, we got this. Be cool for kids to watch. We'd both go look and they wouldn't be there for each other. So
yeah, we had started a shared account and I'm up to almost 700 movies on there now.
Yeah, I think mine's only at 500.
Only. Is it only? It's still a lot, man. It's a lot of movies. Not a lot of time to watch them.
And a bunch of them were from when we were linked together, but I wish I could go in there and tell you what the last one was that we linked, but
yeah, it was a while ago, I'm sure. So now that we're talking about highest grossing movies or highest grossing video game movies, I want to touch on that. And if you were to just kind of pick without knowing, what ones would you have considered being highest grossing video game films? While you think about that, Ty says, I ain't seen Prince of Persia either. Okay. Ty, we're going to have to talk and see what video game movies you've seen. Speaking on that,
Ty hasn't been alive long enough to watch all these movies. That's the problem.
Oh, that's true. Keep in mind, too, you guys, in July, we're doing one of these per month. The winner of the top 5, so somebody's going to get the opportunity to pick our next video game movie. So as you can see at the top of the screen, there's our top donators. Again, thank you. Huge shout out to those that support the channel continuously. We love you so much for that. And we're rewarding you with, you're going to have me, Rob, and Herman suffer in July by watching another video game movie. It could be a good one. It could be a really bad one. And we're not going to have a poll anymore for Cody to hijack. So, at least for the time being. But anyways, back to the question. What would you have considered like a really successful, like financial wise, for a video game movie?
If I had to just think of, because I know there's some that are based on video game that I probably didn't hear of that are movies on it. But I would have thought like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, just because I remember back in the day that was huge. But is that based on a video game or is the video game based on the TV show?
So the comic, then the cartoon, then the live action. So I don't think technically it was a video game first. I think this is something that was originally sourced as only a video game and then made into a film. I think that's how they're breaking down the highest grossing video game adaptations. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't consider, to me, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a video game adaptation.
Okay. Then probably just thinking about it, I know we've talked about it, so I know it's not, but the original Mortal Kombat movie, because again, back in the day, I thought it was huge. It might have only been that way because I was 10, so I thought it was huge, but
I mean, we were all about it back then, and we talked, somewhat highly in our review. If you missed that one, check it out on podcast platforms. You can go back and listen to that episode. But yeah, no, I agree. I think personally, I would have put, Mortal Kombat on there. But for me,
and for me talking to here, I never would have thought Prince of Persia would have been high at all.
No, see, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've seen that movie. I'm trying to remember if I have, but I don't think I have.
It's another one that everybody can make fun of me for. I've seen it, and I liked it.
You liked Prince of Persia?
I did.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a movie that I would enjoy, mostly for the cast. Who was that, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, I will say it's the cast is very whitewashed for what it's supposed to be.
I'm glad you said it because that's where I was headed. Ty doesn't watch many movies. Thunder says, I'm just playing, buddy. I watched some terrible movies just to make fun of them. Ty says, same.
Pikachu!
Ben Kingsley is in Prince of Persia. They cast a white dude as a Persian. Yeah, Lana. Yeah, problem. Thanks for the host, King Conair 93. How are you? And Donnie Darko, no less. So here's a fun statistic. Here are your top 10 real quick. And really, I'm just kind of diving into things because I don't want this whole episode to be shitting on Warcraft. I want to just give fun information too because I feel like I'm playing a fine line with that. And you're frozen on a fantastic face. I'm so glad that you froze on that. So while I'm giving the top 10 here, you can stare at the lovely frozen face of iRob. Number 10, the Tomb Raider 2018 movie, $274 million. Number 9, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Number 8, Resident Evil Afterlife. Number 7, Sonic the Hedgehog, which surprised me because that's one of my favorite video game adaptations. Number 6, Resident Evil The Final Chapter. 5, this is outdated. 5, Prince of Persia now. Angry Birds at 4. Rampage at 3. Detective Pikachu at 2. And Warcraft at 1. So, King took a screenshot of your funny face. That's fantastic.
Just going through and again, entertainment value I could watch, but Rampage, how is that grossing anything?
The Rock. The Rock puts butts in seats. I'm sorry.
But that one again, like when you say it, I know it's from a video game, but watching the movie, it's not the video game.
Yeah, but they're giant like monsters destroying buildings. That's Rampage the game. That's one of my favorite arcade games. Are you kidding me? Ad says I like Rampage. See?
And I guess just I don't know. You wouldn't be able to make a movie that's exactly like that video game, but it's.
Were they? I'm trying to remember. Were they named Lizzie? Wasn't one of them named Lizzie, like the lizard one?
Yeah, and in the movie, it's a giant crocodile.
Oh, that's weird. And the other one's a gorilla, right?
Yeah, it's a wolf, a gorilla, and a crocodile in the movie.
Oh, there are 3, because there are 3 in the arcade as well. Batman says simple as The Rock. Facts. He puts butts in seats. Trevor says, I love Rampage the game, never seen the movie. It's The Rock. The problem with The Rock, though, I love me some Rock. The problem with The Rock, he plays the same character in his movies. But he's just The Rock.
So does every leading actor.
Leading male action actor. Yeah. For the most part.
Action.
I mean, Tom Cruise is the same thing.
Action.
Tom Cruise is the same dude in almost every movie. Nick Cage. I mean, the list can go on. We can continue that narrative. George, that's right, King.
What about Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude, we just watched a fantastic movie with him in it. Was it fantastic? Go check out the podcast, Street Fighter the movie. We reviewed it. We did that one. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where we're going to have reviewed every video game movie. Like, that's the mindset here. Our objective is to find the worst one. I would put this one near the worst, to be honest with you. I know we haven't even really dived into the review yet, but I did not love this movie. Warcraft was a very visually striking movie, but like eye candy doesn't do everything for me. The plot was just kind of meh. The character development was not there.
I will give you the plot. There is so many just cliche things that they used in this movie that I actually took notes on how many like different ones that they did.
Well, take the podium, my friend. The floor is yours. Let's hear it.
So let's see. There's the big one that is in everything. The leading male actor falls for the half-blood orc human cliche, like it's in everything where the outcast from the bad guys falls in love with the main guy for the good guys. Vice versa. That happens in everything. The son of the main character dies valiantly, proving that he's worthy.
That was awful, man.
The king sacrifices himself.
Time out on the king real quick. Why did he look like Jimmy the King from Ready to Rumble? Did you not see the similarity? Did you not see the similarity? I wish I had a side-by-side for that. You know what I'm talking about? They look alike. It looks like Jimmy the King. Speaking of David Arquette movies, check out the NOW podcast. They just talked about David Arquette and his documentary recently. Check them out. Normally on Sundays. I don't know, Trevor, Cody, are you guys going live after we're done tonight? Can we confirm or deny that? I know it was talked about. Anyways, continue on, though, with your speech.
And then, spoiler alert, I don't know if you're going to go in and do your plot thing. I think we kind of ventured off of it a lot, so I don't know if we can get back to it. But, of course, the Fell makes the good guy guardian. He's evil. He's the bad guy the whole time.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So, like, I'm making fun, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but it is, like, they took, like, the idea for characters from the game and just went, let's make a generic movie. Here's all the stuff that worked before, just throw characters into it.
Wes Allen.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the problem that I had with it. It was very generic. It didn't keep me engaged. It was just kind of, just kept moving along.
So real fast, just breaking it up if you're okay with it. I have some things that I liked in the movie real fast.
Let's go.
So I did think that the opening intro was actually really cool, like the visual of it, showing the orc and the human battling it out with their little backstory.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they call the little shotgun a boomstick, which I'm guessing is from the video game.
Most likely. I've heard that term many times before.
But just the fact that is literally what they called it in the movie is literally, that's a boomstick.
Boom, boom.
Made me laugh. I thought they did a nice job introducing the different races that were already in the world. Just kind of showing them mingling about. For me, my favorite mythical creature is a griffin, so the fact that they have one on screen being totally cool, like, kind of made me geek out a little bit.
I never knew that was your favorite one. That's kind of cool that you like the Grand Rapids Griffins then. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then, again, it's kind of another movie cliche thing, but I thought they did a good job of it, where the orcs weren't just bad guys. They actually put stuff in there that made you relate with them and like them, at least some of them. I just thought they did a good job with that in part of the movie, where they're relatable even though they're there to be the bad guys, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, that's for me where it kind of ended as far as character development or even the racers or species.
Did I lose you?
I can still hear you. Can you still hear me? Oh, I'll catch up on chat until you can hear me here. Let's see. Going back, let's see. Honestly, I think one of the worst ones was Mario. Am I back?
Okay.
I'm just catching up on chat here while we reconnected. King Connor says, honestly, I think the worst one is the old Mario movie with John Leguizamo. We did review that, King, if you want to check that out. That's in our archives. We're on podcast
Spoiler
platforms.
alert, I like that one too.
It's true. Batman says we got to watch Assassin's Creed. I have seen that one. It'll be one we eventually review. As I said, our goal is to watch every single one and review every single one. That's the mission here. Find the worst one. And I don't think Mario was the worst one. It might be. I don't know. Trevor says, for the Horde, Street Fighter was horrible to its characters except Bison. So again, ads, we did review that one too. Check out what we thought. They are doing the NOW podcast after here. They confirmed in chat, so stay tuned after we go off the air. They're going to go right on air here. Wondering if anything to do with the game lore. That's the thing. I don't know enough about the game lore to know. Boomstick from Evil Dead. Maybe that's why it sounds familiar. King says, yup. Am I crazy? Or was there Street Fighter movies? There are multiple. He says, oh, don't worry about that. Okay, continuing on that, we've reconnected. What's up, MX?
Sorry about that. Did you get... Hey, MX. So, I don't know how far we're getting, but just that, what I was saying, they made the orcs relatable, so that you don't just hate them. They actually gave them a story where you kind of root for some of them. I liked that.
And see, that's what I was saying before we lost connection for a moment there. That's where it ends for me as far as character development and interest with it, because speaking of movies, who remembers that sound? Good old THX. That's where it kind of ended for me. It was we started to jump around to mages and wizards. Like, I didn't even know what was happening, and the importance of these symbols, and even the cliche, oh, that's never happened before. Like, how long you stand here with this cube thing, and then you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and I did note in here, so I just want to say it, they did somehow make a baby orc look adorable.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
Can we drop you again?
I'm still here. I don't know what's going on with your connection. Because I can... Oh, now you're blurry. Now you're blurry. So continuing on, if you can hear me, do we want to discuss the plot details? Are you back with me? I saw you clear up there.
Yep, I'm back now.
All right.
I'm wondering... I wonder if my phone's having trouble with your video playing to me. If you want to try to drop that, maybe.
Yeah, I can do that. That might be too much going on with your connection.
So we'll try this for a while just to see if this will help, because it seems whenever people join in or stuff, it tends to funky on my end. So
yeah. Chat here says Boomstick is used in the game. It's a type of gun made by the dwarfs. Boomstick is from Warcraft.
That was accurate in the movie then, I guess.
So chat, and this is for the video watchers and with you guys live with us. Chat, how many people have played World of Warcraft or are familiar with the lore of Warcraft here? I'll give you guys a moment to answer, because again, we'll return what we were saying in the opening here, thanking Cody as he picked two of the worst people to review this movie as far as lore's sake, because I can critique this as far as a film, because I have watched plenty of films. And I absolutely love films. If you've ever seen my media collection, another fun fact, I am a media major. That's what I majored in college. So not to say that I am better or worse than anyone. It is a passion of mine. So I feel...
Oh, lie. That's what you meant.
That's not what I meant. I'm not trying to pat my own back here. I'm justifying and saying this is my passion. Like, I do love video games. I love wrestling, but
as you threw your shoulder out,
pat
yourself on the back.
You can't even be positive on yourself and be happy for yourself without coming across as narcissistic. Jesus.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I know, but it's like, man. Cody says, should have had me and Trevor take it. Alliance or Horde? He's asking to Cody. College means all-knowing. No, college means you spend a lot of money for a piece of paper. Just to make the same as somebody else. Anyways.
Most of the time, if you have that piece of paper, you get paid more for the same job.
Not always. I won't go into details. That's not why we're here. Trevor and Cody says, I played for a long time, played way too much World of Warcraft, thousands of hours. Holy crap. Why did you guys pick this for us then?
They picked the wrong two to review the movie if you wanted to know anything how it related to the game.
Yeah, if you wanted to tie it to the game, you've picked the wrong people to add. You know, they did this right, but they missed this with the character development. That's the problem I had. I didn't understand the character development because the movie didn't tell me. They had locations that I vaguely picked up from things. I don't even know how accurate they were. The map was like, oh, is that a cool nod? I don't remember what the map looked like, but I know what a map looks like. So it's like, maybe that's another nod. But then they like blew up the whole original World of Warcraft map anyways and redid stuff. That game has changed so much since its inception. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like just from watching the movie, I can see where that might be why they didn't explain some of it that you were looking for, is because if you played the games, you would know.
But I feel like to be a proper film, it needs to explain enough for those that haven't played the game, because you're alienating and isolating your audience then. A good plot and a good development would have where it's enough information from source material with nods to those that have played that stuff. But on the other hand, it's enough to get you invested and interested so you would go play. Like to get you absorbed into that world. Like they need to have a proper balance of both to be a really fantastic film of this. And I don't know if they did enough there, because this didn't make me want to go play the game or invest in learning more into the lore.
I could agree with you on that. Watching this didn't make me want to go play the game.
I just know you can sink hundreds of hours into it, and I don't want to do that.
It's also, and I could be wrong, but isn't it mostly a PC game?
Yes. I don't think World of Warcraft ever made it to consoles. I think it's 100% PC. Well, Mac.
Which would rule it out for me, because I don't have a PC.
Yeah. You could watch people play. That's been done on our channel before, too.
That's true.
We had World of Warcraft on our channel for a minute. Yeah, Cody says it's only PC. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they ever made anything on console, even in the Warcraft universe. Again, this is another area of nerddom that, I'll admit I don't know a lot on. I can't know it all. I can't do it all. I can't play it all. I can't watch it all. So, I'm admitting tapping out to my knowledge of this stuff, which is one of the reasons why, too, like I'm not reading some of the plot stuff here, because I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Like, what is it? Draenor? The homeworld of the orcs? Is that how they pronounce it? Sure. See? Oh, God. Cody says we're going to review StarCraft next. You got to be in the top 5. Oh, crap. Cody's number 1. Review SpongeBob? That's not an originally from a video game. And I'd probably like SpongeBob better than this movie.
I feel like a SpongeBob movie would just be an extension of the show. I don't know.
Yeah. So, there were a lot of scenes that were... Okay, the special effects, again, I can't emphasize enough how great the special effects were. Everything looked visually stunning. Some of the combat looked really well done. It was inviting as far as like a PG-13 film. It wasn't too overly graphic. There wasn't much adult content. They had a, moderately strong female in the cast, so that was nice, to see too, with support there. Some of the exchanges where he had to watch, as you mentioned, his son die in front of him, I thought that was, heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like, well, that happened incredibly fast. Like, I felt like there were rushing moments. And if we're talking about anticlimactic or rushing moments, spoiler alert, the intro that Herman did for us of this episode, the final battle where they, the main guy, how do I even describe this? The king gets killed, right? The main guy goes to seem like he was going to battle everyone with his griffin, gets knocked down or knocked out, and then wakes up to a duel with like the main orc. And you think it's going to be his epic throwdown. And then he slides through his legs and he just cut his...
Kills him in approximately like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, there was no bell. he just cuts him from down below, and then he's done. And then they want everyone to attack him when he won, and like, no, respect. He won the duel. You can't kill him now. Like,
yeah, it's supposed to be their traditions where if you win the duel, you're good type of a thing.
Yeah. Throwing it out there, Ad says, just going to throw this one out, says, I would totally watch a film of Leisure Suit Larry. Oh, God. Yeah, I've played a few of those games.
I don't know if they could get that down to an R movie, honestly.
No. No. Lana says yes. Lana's down to watch some weird stuff. Please tell me the feeling sad when a laugh prompt is you falling down the stairs. I don't know. Click it. Click it. Find out.
Hey, you were fine after falling down the stairs, so now we can laugh at you for it.
Oh, I'm not fine. I still have back pain from it.
Shh, you're supposed to be fine, so we can all laugh at you about it.
Yes, laugh at me. You know that video?
With you. How about with you?
That video is made
with
me,
you. We're laughing with you.
It's made me money, so I'm not terribly mad. It's my.
Should we go put some ice on your steps again this winter for you?
I only have one step now, so it's not like it was before. We're good.
Might not be that funny then. I don't know.
Ty checked and can confirm. Yes, it is that video, by the way. Yeah, no, that video's funny. If you're ever feeling down and want to see my misfortune, check out that video. But anyways, anticlimactic.
People might be surprised that they've seen it before.
Oh, I mean, it's all over the place. Like it went viral, which that's my claim to fame. I am a viral video star of me falling down the steps.
Because you fell down some icy steps.
Out of everything that I've been doing over the last 15 years on YouTube and all these ventures, 6 years with DNA, the stuff that you and I did before when we reviewed video games, remember that? By the way, this isn't our first outing doing this stuff. We've been friends over 25 years. We've been playing, on stages together. We've been, this sounds weird, playing in each other's basements. But we have, we've done it all. We've seen the world. But for real though,
touched it all and smelt it all.
Can we put Blood Rain on the next poll? There are no more polls. It's up to the person that wins the top 5 donators. There are no more polls. So we're only
Blood Rain was on the last poll. Nobody voted for it.
It was. Who added that? Was that you?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't remember now.
That was like a month ago. I don't remember what I did yesterday, man.
I think there's adult content in Blood Rain.
There is.
Yeah, see, I don't know if we can watch that and talk about it. Because I think there are boobies.
You just gloss over that part.
Gloss over the boobies? Sounds weird. Decision. You want to be friends for 25 years, says Ty to Cody. But yeah, we definitely can't show it in the background of our streams. We were flirting with copyright claims on that stuff, so I stopped. Lotus, thanks for the host. So yeah, the film basically ends there. Okay, so if you have...
And I did put this in mind, my last thing here, because we all obviously know and make fun of me for it. That's fine. I like the movie. But they set it up, obviously, that they were planning to do more. It's like, it doesn't really end. It just kind of pauses.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not happening because it's been 5 years and there's nothing. So
I do have notes on that too. Quick question. Not question. Well, we have a question as well, but Ad says, I'm not feeling sad, but had to watch the video laughter. You're welcome. Cody says, did we get flagged for the E3 one? So if you missed our E3 podcast last week, Cody and I and a bunch of us hanging out in chat here watched like 2 hours of video game trailers from E3. We got just the standard like copyright claims, nothing, no flags or no takedowns or no blocked video from that. No even mute on Twitch. That was weird, I thought for sure, because we were literally watching videos with audio on screen for 2 hours. We might still get flagged. I'm not tempting the YouTube gods out there, but that might be a thing. But you can check it out if you missed it. The video version is the best way to watch that particular episode, and youtube.com/DoseOfNerdAcumen, E3 2021, with Cody and myself. Wow, Nintendo, give it up for that. Yeah, Nintendo didn't flag us yet. Again, I say yet. Give them time.
They're still getting everybody else that's got more viewers that did the same thing.
Well, usually it's automated. I think the thing that benefits us that we cropped the video into the screen and we weren't going full screen with it, because the bots usually check that and flag that real quick. Because I've seen that with like wrestling stuff. They crop the window and like mirror it, and then they get away with it for a while. Trevor says a sequel could still happen. Boondock Saints 2 came out 10 years after 1. So yes, back onto the main topic of that. I looked it up. And there was talk about, let me get the actual quote here. Talk about a sequel. So with the film's storyline leaving Warcraft open to possible sequels, Jones has expressed interest in a sequel to the film likely to be adapted from Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, the second video game in the Warcraft franchise. On June 18, 2018, Jones tweeted that the chance of Warcraft getting a sequel, quote, doesn't look good. In September 2020, it was reported that Legendary are developing a new Warcraft movie, though it is unknown if they are planning to make it a reboot or a sequel to Jones's film. I'm going to lean heavily on the mindset that they're probably not going to get a chunk of the cast back, that it would be cheaper for them to do a reboot and tell a different story. And just call it Warcraft something else, you know. That's just my opinion. I have no other information from anything except for that there. I mean, overall, like, I'm not mad I watched the movie. I don't know if it's the worst video game movie. I can tell you from video game movies I have seen that we haven't reviewed yet, Warcraft's not going to be the worst one. But I would not favor this very high in our list of ones that we've done so far. I would say watch this if you're interested in like action fantasy stuff. You might enjoy it. For me,
that was again my take on it. Just for the fantasy movie, because I have no lore to base it against. That's kind of where I liked it. It's just if you're into the fantasy action. It's entertaining.
And I mean, I'll be honest too, this action fantasy stuff is a hard sell for me already. So I don't think I was going in being like, yes, I can't wait for this. So it was already a difficult sell. And with a lack of I don't want to say cohesive plot, but just kind of a plot that had a hook that wasn't full of, like you had mentioned, with your cliches.
It's a lot of cliches. There really is.
I just don't think it was going to be one that was going to really impress me. Again, I can't compliment the movie enough on visual effects, though. They did a fantastic job of visual effects. I didn't see really any flaws or any complaints there that I would have to share. Internet says on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 28% based on 232 reviews with an average of 4.4 out of 10. Which seems pretty accurate.
Seems like a very small review.
Small pool?
Yeah.
I mean, I think with that you have to be somewhat certified.
Gotcha.
I don't believe that's the public, because I think there are two sides to it. But I don't know in great detail to actually. Don't quote me on the accuracy of that. The website's critical consensus reads, Warcraft has visual thrills to spare, but they and director Duncan Jones' distinctive gifts are wasted on a sluggish and derivative adaptation of a best-selling game with little evident cinematic value. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 32 out of 100 based on 40 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audience polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale. So, for the most part, it seems mixed to somewhat positive. Have we done a Doom review? Says Ads. We have not.
It was on
Doom.
the poll last week. No, or last time. Nobody voted for it.
Yeah, no one voted for that one last time. So again, if you want to help decide our next one, we're doing one a month, by the way. If you want to help decide, our gift is to the top donators. That is one of the 5 prizes that we're giving out. One person in the top 5 is going to decide the next one. To answer your question, though, as well, ads, will we get to Doom eventually? Yes. We are going to review every single video game adaptation out there. Eventually. It's going to take time. There's not a lot of them, to be honest with you. But we are going to get to that one, being Doom, as well as any other suggestions that you all have had. But if you want to rush something, we want to reward the people that give back to this channel, give back to them for their contributions. A great way to donate to the channel for free, by the way, if you're on a PC, what I do daily is I pull up our Twitch channel here for our community on a PC, and then I do ads. I watch ads. So let me turn my stuff down here. And what I get with ads, I can get anywhere from 50 to 400 bits a day. And with that, I can then cheer. And it didn't cost me anything. Hip hip hooray for me. Thank you for that. Another great question from Trevor here. Are we doing separate reviews for each of the Resident Evil movies or all at once? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think we should do a super episode for that. As much as I would love to do 6 of them, for the live action ones, I think we should do a super episode.
Yeah, because towards the, I don't think they're that much different where we need to do each one separate.
No, I don't think so either. I would love to do a super episode, just one longer length episode and diving into each one and breaking them down, what we liked and what we didn't like. Batman
I
says
would be
yes.
game for that at some point, but maybe
I would
maybe
love
we
an
can do a special.
I was going to say a special in person with the boys. I think that would be fun. A bonus episode. We may be doing more of those too. Just because, here's the other thing too, we may do more episodes than just what's scheduled once a month. You're guaranteed, if you're in the top 5, to book that one for us once a month. But we're going to do more, and yeah, we're going to do a super episode for Resident Evil. We've decided here on air. Congratulations. Batman doesn't get ads. Yeah, for those overseas, I apologize. That sucks. I don't know how that works for you guys. We'll find other ways to...
Send an angry email to Twitch.
Seriously. Yeah. We'll find other ways to. Maybe we can make them something in Nerd Credit Strands too, where you guys can save up and cash in just like a GM show to do bonus episodes of these. If you guys are enjoying these movie reviews and want more of them, of course we want to give you more. We want to know what you guys like. But definitely on the Resident Evil Super episode. That would be so much fun. Spoiler alert, I might be biased. So we'll see. Regardless, that would be a fun episode. Because I do have critiques as well as praise. The Castlevania Netflix series. They're up to what? 2 seasons on that now, Trevor? I think 2 seasons. I don't know. I don't know really what else to say on this movie. I give it visual praise. I give, for the Horde, for the Alliance, the... 4 and it's done, says Trevor, for that series. So yeah, we could look into that one too. That's a lot more content to watch. So that might be something that's a super episode as well too.
And if it's hard for me to find it streaming somewhere for some TV shows, I don't know.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, it's on Netflix. So
okay,
a spinoff is coming. Trevor says really good. Trevor, we'll have you on as a guest then with us. We definitely want someone that's passionate. And that's the other thing too for the award winner. If you want a guest on these shows, like if you pick a movie and you're really high or low on it and you want to be the guest with your prize, please do so. We'd love to have another person's opinion because this one really would have been a better, I don't want to say a better, but a more comprehensive episode featuring Cody and Trevor, who are knowledgeable on the lore of Warcraft. But on a film basis, watch this movie, especially if you like fantasy, action, adventure stuff.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I won't say you have to go out, like, but if you got nothing else going on for a couple hours and like that type of stuff, it'd be right in the wheelhouse for it.
Yeah. I'm not mad about my $14 I spent on this. It's part of the collection now. It's a memory of this episode with all of you here listening. And, of course, iRub here reviewing it with me. But, yeah. Does Wreck-It Ralph count? Because that was nothing like the game. Ads is going to wreck it. That was actually, both those movies were good. I'll be honest with you. I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Have you seen those?
I have. They are one of my older, so Emmy's favorite movies. She loves both of those. So
they're good movies. They're fun. And I love all the references in them, too, to the video games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So those are the ones when, because they go through cycles. When she's in the mood to watch it, I'm not disappointed that we get to watch it a lot for a couple weeks.
My oldest has a Gen 1 iPad with a bunch of movies loaded on it, because that's the only app that works still on a Gen 1 iPad. So he gets movies every night. That's what he falls asleep to. He has since he was super, super little. So we don't watch a lot of the cartoon stuff together. And he knows how to work the TV. So if he wants to watch like Disney Plus or whatever, he'll do that on his own. But movie time, when we have a chance, is generally like the Godzilla stuff. I got him into that. So he's really enjoyed that stuff. He really liked Godzilla vs. Kong. So
still haven't seen that.
Oh, man. That's the thing, too. Once we wrap up all the video game adaptations, we're going to have to just open up to anything and then put it back out to our listeners. Like, find us a movie and vote. We'll have discussions beforehand. We'll do the poll again. And it'll be stuff that I want Rob to see, like that one. I'll put that on the poll. The one I want somebody pick, if you're voting up above top 5 people, I want to review Sonic. Please, someone have us review Sonic soon. Because you still haven't seen that.
I have not. And last time, I don't think Herman has either.
No, both of you need to watch that. So somebody, please, in the coming months, pick Sonic for us, because I really, really want to review that one. And maybe I can convince Lana to let Atticus stay up for the opening part to give his 2 cents of that movie. Because that was the last movie him and I went to theaters to go see, and the first one we're going to go back to go see again is Sonic 2 early next year. That'll be the first time we go back out and venture out with him. So just because there aren't really any kids movies coming to theaters before then. So anyone in chat had... So yeah, real quick question too. This is a troubleshooting question. Thunder says, had anyone in chat had trouble on PC redeeming strands? Not in a broadcast, just strands. That misses yeah me. Thunder, yeah. So Thunder reached out. They had to go to their phone today and go through the app to redeem. So I don't know what was going on with PC or anything like that. Mobile is working. If anyone has the ability to go mobile, I would recommend that over PC right now. Maybe there's something going on with the plugin. Unfortunately, these are third-party plugins. We don't have really any way of troubleshooting that stuff, sadly. But if we find or hear anything about it, we'll definitely give feedback in our communities. The best way to stay up to date in our community is join us on social media. Be a part of the conversation. Join us on Discord. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and so many more places. We archive everything we do on YouTube, so if you ever miss an episode, check it out there. Over 700, almost 800 episodes of content. Incredible. We've been busy. And podcast platforms. If you want to listen to audio versions of shows, check us out there. Podcast platforms like Google, Apple, Spotify. It's free to listen to.
Might be better because then you don't have to see our faces.
Fact. But yeah, we're always putting out content. We got new stuff on the horizon. I'm excited to announce that we're excited for Halo Infinite. So we're crewing up. If anyone plays Halo, we want you to play with us. That sounded weird. That's a sound bite. But yeah, Wednesday nights, when other things are not scheduled, join us for Halo community nights. We want to crew up. We want to take out the other team, whether you're red versus blue. And we just want to have some fun and some multiplayer, because I know a bunch of us are excited for Infinite. I'm very excited. I love Halo, one of my favorite franchises. You know this. I think I convinced you to get into Halo at one point.
Oh, we played it together a lot. We played it together so much I tried to play it by myself and it wasn't as much fun, so I stopped playing it.
Yeah, sometimes it's not as fun to play with yourself.
No, it's always way more fun to play with somebody else.
It's always better to have a friend. That's true. And I'm thankful for all our friends here in this wonderful community of DNA. You guys make all of this so incredible to do every single week. We're so happy to have you. And with that, I want you guys to stick around. We're going to go off the air. But coming up, we have a double feature tonight. That's right. Coming up right after this show, we have the Nerds of Wrestling podcast. So stick around for Cody and Trevor. They're going to go live shortly after we go off the air here. They're going to switch over things. And they're
way better looking too. So
yes, the better,
stick around.
The better duo. They're going to talk about the recent WWE pay-per-view Hell in a Cell and their thoughts on the matches from that particular show. Do you keep up to date on WWE at all? I know you and I are longtime wrestling fans.
Admittedly, I do not. Just life has stopped that from happening.
Understandable.
I still I catch goofing around on YouTube. I watch kind of the highlights from the shows, but I don't watch and keep up with what's going on.
I mean, fair. And you don't have Peacock, or you didn't have the network.
I did not and still do not know.
Yeah. Now, fun little fact before we exit. We used to get together at B-Dubs for years. And we'd watch every pay-per-view together. That was tradition for a long, long time. And even if we didn't go there, we'd order it at my apartment or wherever I was living at the time. We'd watch pay-per-views that way. You took that fantastic picture of me prior to running around a parking lot that you still like to bring up. And that was of Edge cashing in his money.
That was when, yep. Edge cashed in and won, and you were hysterical for probably an hour.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time. That was a huge moment. And so that right there, that was 15 years ago. So that gives you an impression too how long we've been wrestling fans. I mean, even much longer than that. We used to go to shows together, house shows. We had booths. We went to Nitros together. We went to Raw. Smack. We did it all, man.
Well, that was 15 years ago, and when we were at college.
Right.
So that just shows you how old we are now.
Right. and they said we attended Nitro together, if that tells you anything. So that was a long time ago. I still love the sign that we created, the flip chart.
Yeah, where it was everybody. You just flipped a name. It was different. It said, this person is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah. My mindset was damn it, I'm going to get on camera. And they love to pan to people who has the sign of whoever's coming out. And if I have everybody on the roster that I can flip to when they're coming out, I'm going to get on camera. The problem was where you guys had your booth, that VIP booth.
It was the wrong side.
It was the wrong side. It was camera side. It was where the cameras actually are, not where they're pointed. So I'm like, damn it, we're never going to get on camera. Didn't we have Ron Simmons come to the booth too and yell damn near us or something? Wasn't he around our seating?
I think so. I vaguely remember it, but that was also a really long time ago, and some of those all blend together, so I couldn't tell you what show it was.
We went to a lot. So shout out to your mom, too, for helping making all that
every
stuff
time they came to Grand Rapids, me, you, and just because my dad got out of the house for the night, he took us.
Yeah. Oh, he had fun. He got to have some beer and watch us be stupid and make sure we weren't completely stupid.
Pretty much.
This is basically how. But yeah, shout out to them, man. They took good care of us and made sure we had fun. And those are some of my favorite memories was going to those shows. So long-term wrestling fan. But speaking on wrestling, Ian, stick around. That's coming up next. Any parting thoughts as we close out this Warcraft review, which was fun?
Yeah, just I'm not upset at the pick. Like I said, again, I enjoyed watching it, but I also watch a lot of movies and can just get enjoyment out of it. I don't have a critic's mentality where I'm looking for plot holes and things, which I feel like you watch movies a little different. So sometimes it might be nice to get a different perspective like we do.
I'm just a nitpicky person. I can't help it. That's just how I am, how I've been programmed. I was going to apologize, but I'm not apologetic about it.
Well, I feel like in this forum here, you're here to be a movie critic, kind of. So it works for you.
It's my attempt, but really, it's
I don't
just
think
for
I would
fun.
be a good movie critic because every movie I'd be like, it was all right.
Everyone would be just so happy. Like, this is great. Everything is great. What are you on right now? I want some of that life.
But I guess it was a little deep delve. It goes into kind of my personality. Pretty easy going, so it's all right.
It's true. Ty says his impression of you. Movie, not bad. Watch Warcraft, think of it as a movie, not based on a game. Yeah, I think that's it too. Again, I didn't know a lot about the lore. I may have gotten more out of it, maybe not. But in all honesty, it was fine. It wasn't my favorite. That genre is a hard sell already. Visually, it was great. It's worth the watch. And that's it. I don't know if I'd spend a lot of money. I don't know if I would have made it a movie night out to go see it. But give it a try. It might be your thing. It wasn't my favorite, but give it a try.
I would definitely say if you're on something you can watch it free on some streaming thing, you won't be disappointed. It's not bad at all.
Oh, I'm sure it's easy to find at this point. It's out there somewhere. But hopefully you all enjoyed our thoughts here. Our next one in July, so 1 month from now, we'll have Herman back. What it'll be, we don't know yet. We'll find out at the end of June. Once that person picks their prize, they're going to pick the movie for us, and then we'll start letting you guys know so you can watch it in advance and then be a part of the conversation with us if you had time to watch it beforehand. We want to give you as much time as possible. Coming next Tuesday, though, we have our next music review show. Join us every Tuesday for a brand new podcast. Next Tuesday, and this is one I'm kind of intrigued and have my reservations on at the same time. This next one is the new album by Modest Mouse, which I'll be honest with you, I haven't listened to anything since their Float On single. And that was like 14 years ago. And they've only
It's not that old, is it?
Yeah. Look it up, man. Yeah. And then their only album after that until this one was like 2011. So they've had like a 10-year drought in albums. We'll dive more into that next week, Tuesday. So join us for that. That's kind of a bit of a preview. See you next Tuesday. That's right. Every Tuesday. Here, I get what you did, though. I see what you did. See what you did. But yeah, tomorrow night, Halo. Thursday night, NAW. Be on the lookout for pop-up streams over the weekends. NOW Wrestling coming up next, and they return as well this Sunday. And then it all repeats again. This is the best place to be for nerd content. If you want the best, make sure you click that button. Like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your cousin, tell that creepy dude down the street not to watch us because he's the creepy dude down the street. But you know what?
Welcome him too.
You know what? Yeah, we welcome all. The creepy dude can hang out with us. Maybe he's not so creepy and we're being a little bit judgy. Let's not do that. But again, thank you all for joining us. Tell your grandma? Yeah, tell your grandma. This has been the rDNA podcast. Thank you, iRob. We'll see you next time, Herman. We'll see you next time, listeners and viewers. Until then, later. Oh my God! What the